afternoon to everyone that's joining us. Thank you for your time and joining us today. Our topic is coronavirus, rethinking everything to enable today's workforce.
At Technology Source, we often refer to the elements of business success. This table allows us to quickly communicate the vast offerings we source on behalf of our clients. These range from cybersecurity, business optimization, software and applications, connectivity, voice and communications, marketing services, mobility, and cloud and infrastructure.
Historically, in periods of economic downturn, those who continue to market and advertise not only come out on top, but in some cases, their competition almost never catches up with them. So I'll use the example of the greatest period of economic downturn that we should all be aware of, and that's the Great Depression, right? So when the Great Depression hit, there were two cereal brands. There was really one major cereal brand that people knew about, and that was Post. So if you know about Post cereal, that was the main cereal brand prior to the Great Depression. When the Great Depression hit, Post had that knee-jerk reaction, and they said, all right, hold tight, we're not going to spend money on something so frivolous like advertising. And Kellogg said, we will. So they stepped it up, like nothing crazy, nothing, maybe like 15, 20% what they had been spending, stepped it up. Post did not. They just kind of, waited it out. And to this day, Post has never picked up or gotten close to the amount of revenue that Kellogg's brings in. So they took over the market, and they are the cereal brand that everyone knows now, Kellogg's. There are very similar stories with Toyota during the energy crisis, with Amazon in recent years. Think about the recession during 2008, 2009 is when Amazon started coming out on top. And I know we're all using Amazon Prime right now. So those are just some examples of businesses that marketed and advertised through economic downturns, just shifted their message, and were able to not only come out on top, but maintain that status. So very important. So what I want you to think about is what happens. Most of us are at home right now. We're using the internet a lot more than we normally do, which is still a lot. But what happens if you need something in your home right now? Like plumbing stuff is through the roof right now. Plumbers are getting called a lot. Emergency services, home services. What happens when you need one of those services? Most people turn to the digital space. So most people are picking up their phones. They're like, oh, I need this right now. Maybe it's just, I'm so tired of cooking. I'm cooking all my meals at home. I'm ordering out, like I'm getting delivery or I'm getting takeout. You say it's Tuesday, so tacos near me, right? You're putting those things into your phone or your desktop, and you're making a decision based on what you find on the internet. So some of the things I want to talk about today is who is Vivial, understanding the digital landscape that I was just describing, and then I'm going to give some tips on crafting effective messaging, some content types that you could be utilizing, how to drive sales for your business during this time, and then some special offers. So to start, what we try to do, and this is always our message, we try to make the complex simple. Marketing and advertising can be kind of a bear, and it's pretty complex to navigate. We try to make that as simple as possible for our customers. We're the leading provider in digital marketing services for small and medium-sized businesses, and our main goal is just to connect your customers with your business when they're looking online, wherever and whenever they might be searching online. So we do this through a suite of innovative marketing solutions to help you appear in searches on Google, on social media sites like Facebook, and many more. So we are a Google Premier Partner, which is an accreditation that's given to less than 10% of businesses in our industry. We've been doing this for over 100 years. We started as just kind of a humble billboard and directory type company, and now we've moved into the fully integrated, comprehensive digital company that we are today. So pretty much anything that would pop up in front of you when you were carrying out that search that I was just describing, we can get your business there, whether it's a near me search, whether it's I want to send text messages to my customers, whether it's I need some new fresh content, I need a new website, we can handle all of that stuff. And we serve hundreds of thousands of brands across over 6,000 different industries. So chances are we've worked with your industry before. Also, something that helps us stand out besides the Google Premier partnership and our strategic partnerships with like Facebook, Instagram, etc., is that we have a large US-based service team. So the US-based service team, I think, is really helpful. You're not just calling a customer service line. If you're a client of ours, you have a digital specialist that you meet with on a monthly basis, and you can call whenever you need some help. So thinking about the digital landscape, there's about 240 million smartphone users that are checking their phones 80 times a day. I think screen time has gone up considerably. Don't judge yourself on that. We're all doing it. But just keep in mind, People are accessing the internet more than ever right now. There's 3.5 billion Google searches that are made every single day. And I think we're all well aware that the importance of Google and having your business show up there. The average Google search session lasts less than a minute. So you have less than a minute to make an impact on a customer who is going to choose your business or your competitor. So we want to help make sure that you're showing up. Our goal is the first page of Google or the first thing that people see so that you can influence their purchasing decision. And then nearly 70% of consumers' purchase journey is done digitally. So talking about, surviving and thriving in the digital world, the majority of searches and purchases are happening in the digital world during COVID and out of COVID, out of this environment we're in. So very important to show up there. And then 9 out of 10 consumers say that online content impacts their purchasing decision. What is your content saying about you? So that's something that we can help with as well. Consumer shopping has not stopped right now. Think about the purchases you've made, whether it's just ordering food or whether it's treating yourself to some new shoes or whatever it is. Consumer shopping hasn't stopped. It's just changed. So we want to help you change so that you can reach those consumers during this time. Some key components to crafting effective messaging during the pandemic. So I want you to just kind of think through the current content you have now. And if you don't have a strategy, reach out to your technology source advisor. They can connect you with me. We can all have a conversation about this. But some key components and things that you can take notes on today is you have to be fluid. Your messaging must continue to evolve as this whole pandemic and the rules evolve and change. So your messaging must also evolve with that and adapt to the current state of the market. Being responsive, this is kind of difficult, especially for, and I'm going to take a moment to shout out to essential workers right now. Thank you so much. If your business is an essential service, thank you for risking your life and making sure that all of us have the products and services that we need to be more comfortable and continue on with our daily lives. So that's really important. Being responsive during all of that is really tough, especially if you are busy, but being available to answer questions and respond to comments is hugely important for businesses to stay top of mind right now. When customers can't talk with you in person, they're going to turn to online mediums, and that might be social media to engage with you. So if you don't have a plan in place for engaging with them with social media, that's something that we can talk about and I can help with. Also, messaging being simple, extremely important. Think about how long that Google search lasts, very short, right? So it has to be simple, to the point. With all this chaos that's surrounding us right now and the changing environment, customers are going to be drawn to very straightforward, simple messages. So keep your messages simple. And then of course, be compassionate. Most people don't need to be reminded to be compassionate, but just be understanding and thoughtful of the situation that customers are in and how their daily lives have changed, just like yours. So there are 3 types of content that I'm going to talk about, and I'll keep it somewhat brief, but these are the 3 main ones. If you do nothing else during this period to adapt and change your marketing and advertising, focus on these 3 pieces. First, website content, very important. Be a source of information for your customers. Provide your customers with tools, resources, and answers that they're searching for online. Keep it quick and simple, right? So COVID-19 resource pages, updating frequently asked questions about products, basic things like business hours, or if you don't know how to update your Google My Business, let me know. Stuff like that, just so you can let people know that you are still open and operating during this pandemic. Here are some customer examples of ours and what we've been doing with them. So first and foremost, just acknowledging the COVID-19 impact and then that business's response to what's going on. Being a resource center is kind of that bottom left one. So having a toolkit or resources for your customer that they can use that are industry specific. And then pop-ups on your website, hugely important right now. I'm sure you've come across these in your own searches, but saying we're open for curbside delivery and services, that sort of thing. Secondly, social media. So let them know that you're there for them. Let your customers know, because this is the online word of mouth is social media. So use those platforms to share information very quickly. And it's also pretty personal. Social media is a lot more personal than just reading something on a website. So use social media platforms to share information. This can be company and employee updates. This can be resources, uplifting content, like some positivity is hugely helpful right now. And then deals and promotions. People love a good deal all the time, right? So some things that we're doing right now through social media is, of course, always acknowledging the COVID-19 impact, but then maybe just an open for business reminder. So like Cajun King, we're Cajun King. We make things a little brighter. We're open and ready for your takeout orders. And then any new services, anybody like in the health and wellness field, nutritionist, fitness, that sort of thing. I actually have a friend who has an interior design business. She's doing virtual like consultations. Any of you who can go virtual, now's the time to explore that, right? And then lastly, video. So let them see you. We're all in video right now. Can you imagine if Laura, Sonia, and I just had our screens blocked out and it was that little peg person? That's no fun, right? We're way more fun in person. So let them see you. You're more fun in person too. Use video to connect with customers, since that face-to-face environment is not really something we can do right now. Plus how-tos. I started like a full succulent garden out in my balcony. I definitely looked at some how-tos, but if you're then selling the tools necessary for whatever that how-to explains, great way to connect. Product demonstrations, Q&A, and then advice and tips. People are all looking for different advice and tips right now. And then just some ways that we're using video. And I'll just give you some stats before I move into kind of the end of my presentation. But what we're seeing on sites where we have both video and text available on the same page, 72% of people are clicking on the video. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? We're getting kind of tired of reading things, I guess, or wanting to watch videos. So people are looking at video to learn about a business, a product, or service. 81% of people have been convinced to buy a product or service by watching a video. So we track all of this data. So we'll like clicking on the video, going to book an appointment or learn more information. We track all of that stuff so we can kind of understand the buying patterns of our customers. And then engagement rates with video on Facebook advertising, through the roof. It continues to climb. I'm seeing just one of the stats I saw today with our click-through rates. Real estate has gone up 48% in terms of clicks. So that's pretty insane. And then law, tech, and industrial goods, those have all gone up too. So if you're in those industries, reach out, we can help. So I want you to ask yourself, as business owners, ask these 3 questions. Can customers or can consumers find you easily to order your products or schedule service right now? How have you adapted to be successful during the current quarantine? And lastly, how are you letting customers know that you're still open and ready to serve them? Really think about these. If these are things that you're like, oh, I'm not quite sure, or no, I'm not doing this, reach out. We can help. We want to make sure that you not only survive, but you thrive through this. And then we really want to help you engage with your customers. So some offers that we have available right now, customers that make a purchase of our marketing platform. I can explain what that is when we can talk a little more, else this would be really, really long. Customers that purchase a marketing platform will receive a free promotional video. So I just told you how important video is. We're doing that right now through the end of April. That's the one that does have an April limit on it. But then in addition, customers are going to receive a free month, and we're waiving setup fees. So that's a minimum value of about $500. Great thing that you can take advantage of right now. Reach out to your technology source advisor for details on how to get started with any of this stuff.
That's great. Thank you so much, Laura. And it's good to hear this stuff. I mean, a lot of it I'm thinking I hadn't thought of, but some of it I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So one of the things is just that being adaptive. And I know we had a couple customers on who had asked questions about how do they adapt for their particular industry. They're in acupuncture, one was in massage, another one is in dental. And actually, I personally have been helping a couple different customers in the dental industry right now, mostly with like phone service, because they're now finally having a moment and taking a break, and then also cybersecurity. So they're actually having a moment to not be working. That acupuncture, massage, those different industries where people have to be face-to-face in order to accomplish their role in their company. Can you kind of touch on that and then maybe discuss some ways that Vivial might be able to help those organizations?
Yeah, those are definitely industries that are a little trickier because you have to be face-to-face, right? You have to be in person. So with that, customers of mine that are in those kind of alternative health fields, that a lot of them are offering either options to do at-home tips for ways to relieve stress or pressure, that sort of thing. Maybe tips on different ways that you can, different stretches, stress therapy, that sort of thing. I have a few customers who are doing like gift cards that they can use after this is finished. Maybe they're at a discount, but a lot of it is virtual, like kind of stress reducing methods that they can use right now.
I like that too with the gift cards, because those can be, like you said, at a discount. They may have offered those anyway at a discount, but now there's a reason behind it.
Yeah, and something to keep in mind too right now is cost per click on Google is down. And then competition with like optimizing your business is slightly down. So for example, we know that there's an end to this, that we're going to come out of this, and acupuncturists and customer facing businesses, we're going to go back to business, right? So keeping that in mind is really important, because right now you can use this as a building period, and you can take advantage of those low cost per click, that lower competition, so that they can start putting in the work necessary, like writing content, building keywords, optimizing your website, making yourself accessible, all those things, so that when people are doing searches, like once we can interact in person, you're coming up at the top of the search engine because you took this time to make sure that your business was showing up on top. So right now is a great time to take advantage of those types of things as well.
What can we be doing for our essential workers? And maybe is there any way Vivial or NetCarrier is doing anything specific for those populations? Healthcare, are you prioritizing those customers in your onboarding? Anything like that you're doing? I'm curious.
We're offering a lot of just different discounts and just adapting. But besides the few specials that I mentioned on there, we also have things like fast starts, which kind of doubles our hourly work that we'll put in for them, except for the cost of whether if they pay for 10 hours of work, we'll do 20. So we have an option like that for like our SEO work. For some customers who are totally unable to operate right now, we're pausing campaigns, of course, no penalties or anything like that, then offering them some discounts. We're getting really outside the box with just like tips on talking to their sales teams on just how to talk to customers right now and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So we're doing a lot of like consultative kind of stuff as well.
That's great. Wow, it is so great to hear what these two organizations are doing. So I want to thank you both so much. And I want to close this out with just how to reach out to us, right? So this is the step-by-step process. In just 10 seconds, you start with a strategic conversation with one of our advisors. And then the next thing we're going to do from there is work with you to get expert recommendations and these warm introductions to these amazing women here and the people on their team who work with you side by side. And then you'll purchase directly from the providers, and they source those solutions for you and provide those for you. And then we do it all over again for every other service that you need when it comes to technology. So that's just our easy process. And next week, we will be going over a lot of cybersecurity stuff, so join us for that. And my name is Sonia Moline, Vice President here at Technology Source. And with that, I'll close us out. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I know there was a few questions we couldn't get to today, but if you want to, just please do reach out to me. My email's right there. And if you want that research or anything else, and if you're interested in any of the things that we talked about today, we're happy to continue this conversation.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Thanks.
Have a great rest of your day.
Everyone.
Thank
Awesome
you.
job. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Join us every Tuesday from now till May at 10 a.m. Pacific Time for the Technology Source Virtual Roundtable Series.